Okay, welcome back, gentlemen. We are once again watching Smith in red, and for his first debut on the channel, Blocker playing blue. Okay, so this replay, Smith said that it would be wise to speed it up to 2 times because it's not going to be strategically interesting or something along those lines. Basically, this replay, he asked for my help in analyzing what the hell happened or where he can improve or whatnot. So that's supposed to be my specialty on YouTube, so we shall do that. Whether or not it's going to be any entertaining whatsoever, if I can add any value in that department, we're about to find out, but probably not going to happen, folks. Not this time. So there we go, 2 times speed. Should take about like 15 minutes to get to the end. So this map, no real opportunities for Navy gameplay. It is a shame. So Smith has given up the south here. Yeah, nothing fundamentally wrong with that. Blue can't generate enough of an attack to really force any kind of opening. Now in the north over here, we have the breakthrough due to mismatch in armor units for blue. He's got the 4 tanks stacked up on the plains tiles. Smith has collapsed his defense. He's not at any threat of being, overrun or anything. Smith is good enough a player now compared to when I first featured him on the channel, in which case, he was kind of dog shit. Now, Smith has become like a top 100 player. By the time of the recording of this video or something like that, he's up there. He knows what he's doing most of the time. This right here, I approve a lot. You see this stack right here? Yeah, that's not gonna get broken anytime soon. And holy crap, he went for an encirclement in the center, and he managed to pull it off. Wow. I thought you said this one was gonna be a long one, Smith. What the hell's going on? You completely encircled the center army group. What on earth? Too much overextension in the south and the north. That's what happened there. And then once Smith sees a opportunity, he just goes for it. That's his play style. It's the Steve doctrine. Okay, not bad. Okay, now you need to be real careful here because you've overcommitted to the entire push. So long as you keep your flank screened and then you close the pocket, very dangerous, very dangerous. Okay, yeah, we're gonna slow down the replay here. Overextension by blocker here. He tried to go for the end round. He got close. Actually, I think for like a second or two there, he actually did get an encirclement on Smith's entire army in the center. But yeah, overextended. Yeah, it's real messy just because of how the power projection mechanics work. Smith has a slight advantage because he has a city that's much closer to this kind of breakthrough attempt that Blocker tried from the south side here. Okay, now we have wow. Okay, opportunity in the capital. Blocker has not. Okay, he sees the mistake. Blocker didn't quite have his dot on the capital. Smith is now probing to see any more opportunities for attack. You might be able to see that the northernmost city is very, very poorly defended. Might be able to get a play out of that. This entire group here is encircled right now as well. Yeah, this is blocked off. Okay, now there's a breakout here. He's going for another encirclement for the encirclement. Very dangerous though, very dangerous. And he gets it. Once again, the entire center group is completely encircled. Attrition's already taking its toll. A couple of dots have just died. He's still probing for attacks. Actually, you know what the funny thing is? This is the one time where if he did try to push once more with that one lone dot, he would have seen that the capital was like completely undefended for a couple of seconds there. But in doing so, once you keep overextending yourself like that, and you give opportunities for your opponent to break out your circle. And this hold in the south side here, that is very nice. Is this dot given an order? Yeah, they are also given orders to attack. It would have been wise to just keep them stationary to get defensive bonuses. But okay, there. Pockets closed. Casualties, yeah, 40,000 difference there. In terms of troops, Smith is up by 50,000. He has managed to keep his eco going. He's got quite a few reserves in the backline here, but they're gonna need to. Oh, okay, yeah, he sees the opportunity in the north. Weakly defended. Blocker trying to build up new units for all the stuff that he lost in the center. He should be able to get it now because both sides, because Smith's unit is out of morale and Blocker's unit is like basically half morale. He couldn't quite get the kill in time there. Well, it happens. But there's still opportunity for the north here. Lots of trades going on in the center. Okay. Yeah, pull back. The reason why you need to pull back is that even though you're up by like 60, 70,000 troops or so, is that you're still taking time to rotate the fresh units where all the troops are actually, on the dots from the rear to the front. Like you can see here now, you have the fresh units that are being deployed forward. Giving up the space, completely fine. Space is a strategic resource that you can always use in War of Dots. Um, yeah, just give it up. Give yourself some time to recuperate, replenish your forces, get the tanks out of the forest. And if Blocker here is not careful, he might see this as like an opportunity for an offensive when really it's not, because he's still down 50,000 troops. If he commits to a full assault here, especially on this city in the center, Smith is gonna have no problem actually swinging around and getting another massive encirclement. He does have the troops. It's just whether he can concentrate where his troops are amongst all the dots. Which ones have the troops? Which ones need the replenishment? This, that, and the other. Lots of micro necessary. Leaving the armor unit in the north and the south. I don't see anything particularly wrong with that, especially since the forest is the main combat zone. Keeping armor units on the outlying cities, it's a very safe play because that way, in the event that you lose your situational awareness over the rest of the map, if your opponent tries to do some sneaky moves, you're gonna be set basically. The army units are gonna have no problem holding that city, and then it buys you enough time to figure out what's going on, and then you can relieve the city. So in the north here, we have fresh unit being built up. In the south, just some probing attacks, having a look-see. Okay, yeah, things have died down a little bit here. Lots of maneuver. I don't know if Smith sent me the right replay because he said that it was a very slow battle of attrition. That's not quite what I've seen here so far. Uh-uh. Okay, trying to maneuver some units through the pass here. They're all quite depleted. Now this is getting a little bit dangerous. Smith's main center group is all pinned down. We're all too bunched up, and Blocker has wrapped his units around, so they don't have any room to maneuver. This is a fight to the death, basically. Blocker has made some very good gains here. He's now closed the deficit of troops to about 20, 25,000. That's actually pretty impressive. Yeah, can we get a breakout here? Kind of. Okay, going for another encirclement. This done is, yeah. Okay, there you go. Another encirclement in the north of the center here. Very nice. Just keep everyone where they are, close the pocket, and there's nothing much that you can do. Be careful about this city here. You're maneuvering the units too often. You might give an opportunity for 1 or 2 seconds. You might get lucky and sneak a dot through one of the gaps in the line and cap the city. Yep, pocket closed. They're all dead as hell. The deficit's now 40,000. Nice. Uh, the only mistake I could see here is that you're just bunching up your units and you're not utilizing the advantage of the numerical superiority that you have. That's what happened just now, is that you had everybody bunched up, you were playing it safe, and that gave opportunity for Blocker to wrap around. And whilst he was doing all of that, he managed to close the troop deficit to around 20,000 or so. Um, it's these tanks which is giving the kind of illusion that there is more troops committed to the front. That is the problem now. It's this northern tank here that probably needs to be mobilized to the south because Blocker hasn't made any real push for the north, even from the beginning. Once he saw that you collapsed your defense to the north, there was nothing else there. Now, the question is, how do you best utilize it? It just has to be down here in the south, really. You group it up with this other dude over here and put pressure on this side. He can only flank on this pass here. But if you get that secured, you can make good plays for the southernmost city. Yeah. Yeah, because you do know that he is also not sitting idle. Because of the amount of probing attacks that you did in the opening, you did see that most of his cities were all either very poorly defended or they had fresh troops being built and whatnot. That should have been the indication that, okay, if he's going to be doing like that and he's committing to maneuvers like this in the center, don't need to be too worried about the flanks on the far north and the far south. Because what's he gonna do, right? If he's that spread out and he's committed everything, and that's how he's playing, chances of him trying to pull off that kind of move that I described a few minutes ago, where he tries to make a sneak play for one of the outlying cities, it's, I give it like 20% chance that it might happen. Another overcommitment in the north here. These guys overextended and they are toast. Yeah, okay. Still up by 40,000 troops. But interestingly enough, it looks like Blocker has the initiative. He's the one that's setting the tempo. More exchanges in the center here. Another cutoff. Get trying to cycle the armor into the cities in the back here. Overcommitment from this dot over here. He thought he saw opportunity, but it didn't quite work out. Nah, this is what I like. And that's great. That's Mission Impossible right there. Extricate that one dot from the jaws of death. Very nice. Yeah, like this fight down here in the south, if it's this armor unit that gets activated instead, then these guys are toast. Because these four units, they're all super, they're at half health. This guy has just been freshly built. Only just one real contending dot down there. Okay, yes. Smith has finally mobilized the armor unit from the far north down into the center here. Okay. Yep, okay. He didn't make the same mistake as just now. Saw that he was bunching up his units and could have given Block an opportunity to wrap around and then pin everybody again. But he didn't do that. He reformed and refused his lines. Okay, very nice. Lots of cycling going on with both players. Very nice. And a constant. Still up by 30,000 troops. Casualties are still in your favor. You've gotten excellent trades in all the encirclements so far. Okay, still pumping out lights from both sides here. Very nice. Okay, trying to take back the initiative in the north here. It looks like Smith started his own very small offensive. Hmm. Cycling is going as good as it can be because of how messy the opening engagement was. You take a look at the health of the dots on both sides. There really isn't any reserves left to, properly cycle anybody to and fro the front line. Everyone's depleted as hell. And I guess it just comes down to morale bars. That's the only thing you can concern yourself with if you're trying to do all the cycling right now. And even then, a lot of them are all being depleted through pure attrition on the front. Right, this is getting dangerous here. Got the one, let me just clear out the UI. The one armor unit, okay, he's only at half health. Okay, I thought he was a little bit lower than that. You got the one armor unit that's holding. You got one adjacent to him. They're both bled of morale. Good thing is that they're defending, so it's not that bad. Yeah, once again, the south is the one that looks like good opportunity to do something. Okay. Yep. Once again, another probing attack. Smith pushes forward, sees that the northernmost city is very, very poorly defended, and he's just going to commit to that attack. It's not going to work out just because it's fresh unit, the morale is up. Oh, you got it? Ah, no, but it just wasn't enough time. The unit from the capital got in, and yeah, he's toast. It is what it is. Yeah, like right here. If this tank gets mobilized in either this fight or the fight that happened before, like prior, you could have very easily have won this whole flank right here. There's nothing you can do against this one fresh armor unit that's been chilling on this city. There's nothing much you could do. That would open like a lot of pressure on this last city down here. And yeah, not much you can do. These are the units where most of the troop count the deficit is this guy's got like, what was it? Was it 10,000, 20,000 extra? The light units, I know they're half of the amount of whatever it is the armor is. I think the lights are 10,000 and the armor units are 20,000 in terms of like troops. So that's like 10,000 units like right there. That's where the troop count is. Out of that, or it's 20 and 4. Nah, yeah, it's gotta be 10 and 20,000. That's what the counts are. Oh, look at that. Look at all these units all depleted and running for home. Oh my. I have opportunity here now because he's withdrawn most of his depleted units to the back. You all still stacked up a lot along this line. Wrap around the edges here because his flanks are all open. Well, at least for the north side here. In the south, he's got these mountains. But yeah. Considering the fact that Blocker only has one armor unit in the forest, I think the play here would have been to utilize at least these two armor units here in the forest and just cycle them down with this one dude here and then his toast in the south. Because you're not getting really good trades. The armor unit that's holding the city, perfect. Yes, it's next to the forest, but it doesn't matter because the city is considered a plains tile. He gets the full, bonuses or whatever. I'm just sitting put, and it's a defensive. You're using it as a defensive unit, so it doesn't actually matter. The forest debuffs are for when you're maneuvering and when you're attacking. Um, so yeah, I think that's literally it. It just came down to these two dots. Because remember what I said, true deficit is only about 20,000. So it's literally the armor units which are giving you the leverage on the stat board, but you're just not utilizing it properly on the board. Oh, tragedy. Okay, attempted to scout, saw the dude's just sitting there, and then Blocker decides not to even commit to that. Pinned units in the north side here, but you did get the cutoff on a single light unit. Very nice. He's toast. Ooh, dangerous on this pass here. Blocker has managed to get around the mountains, and yeah, these two guys have been encircled. Dangerous. Not much room to maneuver. Really needed to just keep a dude close to the mountainside here, and then Smith doing what Smith does best. If we can't go back directly, we'll go through the enemy. Didn't work out there, but we saw it earlier. Yep, always an option. Okay, we have a nice spreading out here now. Smith hasn't. Smith has managed to not bunch up his units again, so he's created a nice little pocket here, very cozy. I have a lone unit coming in from the north side here, looking for opportunity. Yep, you can cut off this one dude over here. Very nice. Okay, small wins, small wins. It literally is just these two dots throughout this whole game. That's that because on the board it looks like you have the advantage that you can mobilize, but it's only if you manage to, get the efficiency out of those 20,000, 30,000 troops. The problem is that they're all stacked up on these tank units that you've kept quite healthy throughout this whole game. Like this guy right here in the back, and of course the infamous armor unit in the south. We can't blame the guy from the north because he actually got moved down, so he did some work. But that's literally about it. That's where all the troops are. And okay, Blocker has managed to equalize the troop count. Yikes. It is interesting when you think about it. Like in War of Dots, you only have like so many dots on the board, and there are only two unit types as well. And yet, when you see games like these, and this isn't the only game I've commentated on other games where it just came down to one or two dots on a front line, on a flank somewhere that basically determined the whole game. This is one of those games. Where it was just like a handful of dots that they just were misused for a good like 10, 15 minutes that basically, kind of handicap one player. In this case, Smith had the advantage. He got some amazing moves in the opening, but then when he tried to capitalize on it, it was just these minor details that basically stalled him. And Blocker, props up to him. He didn't give up. despite having two main full army groups get completely encircled in the center and die. He just kept going at it like a proper trooper. Yeah, he went full light build. Didn't build any tanks. This is the last tank, and I'm pretty sure this is the tank from the initial deployment. The ones that you're giving at the start. He didn't build anything. He kept this dude alive throughout the whole thing. Yeah. Yeah, bad trades for the armor units in the forest here. They're depleted. Now they're gonna take a long time to recuperate. And okay, blocker is ahead now in 20,000 troops. This is not looking good. Okay, so Smith needs to go on the defense here. He needs to go on the defense and hope for blocker to overcommit one more time, like he did at the opening. Get an opportunity to get encirclement and then get out. This guy right here, I don't know how he got out of that one alive. Like he should have been pinned down by the amount of units and how they were positioned. That's crazy right there. Oh, damn, okay. So this is an encirclement because the city is in the pocket. So these guys are completely fine. But this is dangerous. This is very dangerous. Oh boy. Yeah, okay. No, you need to make some plays here, Smith. You need to get a breakout somewhere. You're going for the offensive? Holy shit. I didn't expect anything more. Uh, amazing. Despite the fact that, this pocket is in like a very, very, precarious position. And there's a city involved in that. My man doesn't give a damn. It's like, okay, you know what? We'll attack instead. And he went for it. Oh boy. Very similar to the last game where I featured Smith, where he made a river offensive on like probably the worst part of the terrain in the whole map. And strategically, it didn't make any sense whatsoever because his opponent was also playing it quite well. But once he gets like one opportunity to do a blitz move, he'll go for it. And usually he manages to pull it off. But then what happens after that? It's anybody's game after that. But boy, is it make for a lot of entertainment. Damn man, yeah, this pocket right here. So this play, if you don't get this city from this play, or if you don't force blocker to stop his assault, then it was not worth it at all. And oh boy, I don't think Smith can get this guy out of there. Yeah, he did it. Okay, now you need to believe. You need to, yes, put the dot right next to it. Thank you. Trying to wrap around at this side would be quite dangerous. Yeah, no, the northern the kind of Hail Mary play from the north there did not work out. It did not. Nope. And the city has fallen. That's tragic. Blocker is now up by 60,000 troops or so, and as he got a city, if Smith can't get a proper counteroffensive going to reclaim the city in the next 3 minutes, then it's basically over. And judging by the state of the board, he's not gonna be able to do it. He's not. Yeah. This is interesting because Smith came out and said to me that this one's going to be boring. It's a slugfest. But this is probably the most entertaining match that I've had in like the last 5 replays that I've watched, of which I have actually watched it, recorded it, because like I said in previous videos, I don't watch these replays prior hand so that the commentary when I give it to you and post it on YouTube, it's just close to being raw and authentic. But the trend is if it's not my usual characters like Mr. G or Smith, other people will send in their replays and they'll say, "Oh, it was exciting and amazing," and then I watch it and it's just like nothing here was even remotely exciting. No matter how charismatic a commentator you could probably put in front of the microphone here, there's no way I'm gonna make this one entertaining. And then I have Mr. G and Smith will send me a replay here or two. It's like, oh man, this one was like long ass. It was just pure attrition. Probably not too interesting, but I had fun. And then it's just pure maneuver, two massive encirclements, and a case study in this specific replay showcasing it only takes a couple of dots to determine the outcome of the game. Like that was it. It was just literally the armor units being misplayed on Smith's sides here. That was it. Because that's where all the troop deficit was. So yeah, not bad. It was a very not only entertaining but very educational replay. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, no, it's over now. There's nothing much that Smith can do. It's 3-1 in terms of troop advantage. The city being switched, that's basically the more strategically decisive calculation you need to be made there to determine who's in the upper position. And yeah, no, there's nothing much Smith can do here. What a shame. What a shame. Good game though. Good game. Well played by both players. Very nice. Very nice. I think there was like a very small minor tournament that got held a couple days ago, as of the time of the recording of this video. That is, Smith partook in it, and he played against Talvi, who has his own YouTube channel. And he's also a pretty good player. I don't know if they have the replays from that, or if they thought it was any interesting, any worth, you know, having a look at from a third party like me or so. But I'll leave it up to them if they want to send it to me or not. Or if they deem it not interesting at all, then yeah, sure, no problem. We won't look at it. My time these days is stretched out a lot because I'm playing a lot of Mach Speed Intercept in another game called Riftborn, which I'm trying to make a video about, but that's gonna take some time. So I've actually started playing games again. Cause I haven't touched World of Dots in like, I don't know, a month now. And of the hours that I have recorded on Steam, I have 40 hours clocked in. Only 10 hours of that is me playing the game. The 30 hours is me watching people play. Good times, but it's entertaining. So, okay, that's the end of that replay. I'll see y'all in the next one then.